What's up, everybody? What's going on? How's everybody doing tonight? I almost forgot that part. I've had a few fans ask me to make after reset videos to see me pawn the noobs, so yeah, you know, there really is no strategy for me here, guys. All I gotta do is take in the monster. Now, I did some arena already because I couldn't film this video until later on tonight, so I like to go climb up a little bit as I go along. And I know you're gonna see on the left, I already recorded it, okay? I wasted 3 swords, I already recorded it. We're gonna do guild battles every Saturdays from now on, you get to see them. Or is it Sunday mornings? No, Saturdays, we'll be doing them. You get to see who's number 1, by the way. So, we're just gonna do some arena battles. Now, before I start with the arena battles is... This guy, he sent me a message as Ruthra. He sent me a message telling me he found me in arena, and he beat my defense and whatever, you know. I know my defense isn't unbeatable. I know for a fact. Trust me, it's just an annoying defense that it's a stall. It's a stall. I'll admit it from here. I don't really have any defense monsters, like great monsters for defense, other than Praha, you know. So I told him maybe I'll put it in the video, and well, he's in the video now. So, yeah, there is no strategy to talk about. One night, you know, I'm not gonna do strategic videos. I have that farmable giants team for B9 that's gonna come out soon too. I don't know, you guys. Let's talk about New York life. How about that? Maybe that would be interesting. Wow, this guy's higher rated than me too. It wasn't even a waste. Oh, look at this. I'm getting hit by Zypher. Whatever. What's up with this Stalkers guy? Yeah. Guys, you really shouldn't be revenging during the week. You should be trying to clear your list during the week, really. I don't like to revenge during the week. I'd rather just clear my list, get my wings, and climb up, you know? So, the only reason why I revenged him was because he left a comment saying whatever, and he goes to me, oh, it's free points. Alright, let him see his defense in action too. So, I went out Saturday night. Guys, I haven't been out in the city, at least, in a very, very, very long time. I can't remember the last time I went out in the city. I live in Queens. I don't live in Manhattan. But Queens is part of the 5 boroughs, which is part of New York City. So I don't know what you want to call it, if you want to call it a suburb or not, or whatever you want to call it, but that's pretty much like the only way I could explain it. And I've been living here my whole life. I'm 32 years old now, and let me tell you guys something. Living in New York City, there is absolutely nothing that can really surprise you. Like when seeing things, you know, like I don't even know how to explain it sometimes. Like on my way to school, there was a guy on the bus. He was screaming every day too. That's the funny thing. He was screaming Jesus the superstar and this and that and all these crazy things. Like I couldn't believe it. And then you got who else is there? I don't even know. Like, I remember one day I was actually surprised at this too. I was taking the train into the city to go see somebody. We're not gonna say who I went to go see. And like, the guy had, and it was a guy too. That's the crazy thing. He had hair from his head to his toes. The shit was green and wearing this crazy clothes. Now, guys, I grew up in Long Island City. Long Island City is that's where Queensbridge is pretty much. That's where, I don't know if any of you guys know, that's where Nas grew up. Nas grew up in, supposedly he grew up in Queensbridge, but supposedly he didn't. I don't know what the real story is. I saw the movie. He says he grew up in Queensbridge, so I guess he grew up in Queensbridge. Whatever the case is. So, I'm just gonna whatever team this. I know Lucian can't take care of the whole thing by himself. And like, seeing something like that is actually very strange to me. Like what I'm telling you I saw, you know? To see a guy dressed up in all, what do you call it? Like, leather and green hair, that was like new to me, to be honest with you guys. It's not, like, it wasn't surprising though. That's the thing. You know, the things we see here, the things I've seen, oh my god, you know? Like, I can't even think of everything that I've seen. It's just crazy. Like, alright, let's talk about Saturday. Saturday night, I must have gotten approached by so many people on the street. It's not even funny, man. Like, I'm just hanging out outside, having a cigarette in between the party. And one guy claimed to work for the Salvation Army, was trying to collect donations for the Salvation Army. Now, I don't know who in their right mind is trying to collect donations in the village, downtown, at 11 o'clock at night. I mean, really? You're kidding me now, right? And, like, I kind of wanted to believe him, because, look, when you grow up in the city, you gotta know what you're dealing with, okay? I didn't believe him, but I knew that he cleaned bathrooms for a living. Now, how did I know he was cleaning bathrooms for a living? Number one, he was wearing some weird coveralls. Number two, his hands were white. Like, he was a black man, but his hands were so white. We're talking about pale white, you know? And they were dry, and we're not talking about his skin color. We're talking about, like, it was on top of his skin. So he had a bunch of, he had basically had like ammonia on his hands everywhere. I guess it's ammonia, you know, that does that to your hands. So I knew he cleaned bathrooms for a living. He seemed like a decent guy. The thing is, you know, I don't know how you walk around at 11 o'clock at night trying to collect money for the Salvation Army. I don't know how true that is, you know? So, and in this city, you can't depend on anything. Like, nothing will surprise you ever in this city. Ever, ever. So that was the first person that approached me. Then some other guy approached me. I guess he was Hispanic or black. I'm not even sure what he was. He sees his sign, you know, oh, there's $5 shots in here, and I was in the club. I guess he thought I was a bouncer because, you know what, another 5 people approached me with their IDs coming out, you know, with their IDs, bringing out their IDs like I worked at the place. So he was like, is that true? I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm with the private party in the back. He's like, oh, you know, like, yeah. He's like, where you from, yo? Because, I don't know, there was some other guy screaming and causing drama a little further down from him. He's like, yeah, you know, all these fucking people. Like, he goes to me, he was like, oh, you know, everybody just wants drama in this fucking city. Like that. I'm like, okay, you know, what are you gonna do? And he was like, so where you from? I'm like, I was born and raised in Queens. You know, I don't want to say where exactly I'm from, but he was like, oh, I'm from Coney Island. You know, so I was like, oh, so you're on the last stop on the end. I'm on one of the stops on the end too. So, you know, the stops on the end though, it's pretty big, guys. So you're not gonna find me that easy. So he's like, oh, you know, you ever been to Coney Island? And you know what? For somebody that's been living here for over 30 years, I've never been to Coney Island. Surprisingly, like, I don't know what's wrong with me, man. So I think I should hit up Coney Island this summer if I get a chance. And then, like, I'm talking about, this is within like a half an hour span. A gay guy approached me. I'm like, dude, please, you know, I don't mind gay people. Just don't touch me. You know, like, I don't go that way. I respect what you do. Just respect me. You know, don't like bother me. You know. And then a random bum just comes out of nowhere, and he didn't even want anything. He just started talking to me like, whoa. And I knew he was a bum. He just, like, oh my god. And then when you walk into the club, oh man, this one guy got me so mad. I'm behind him for literally 2 or 3 minutes, and these are the longest 2 or 3 minutes of my life. He's trying to walk through the crowd, And, like, yo, I don't know if you guys, like, if you're walking through a crowd, you know, don't sit there and wait for somebody else to move. If you're sitting there waiting for somebody to move, you're not going nowhere, you know? So, he's sitting there waiting for people to move, and I want to put him to the side, and, like, so I could get past him, and then he sees this big dude, like, 6'5". I was like, and he turns around and he just moves over to the side, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, the fuck, what are you doing, bro? Just walk, come on, man, you wasted my time already. You know, like, you know, in this city, look, I'm not a tough guy, I'm really not a tough guy, but in this city, you gotta know how to act, you know, like, I've never been bothered at all. I'll go right into Queensbridge, flash a little bit of money, nobody's gonna bother anybody, because they know you're from the neighborhood, you know, like, you show fear, you're gonna get fear. It's like dealing with the dogs, you know what I mean? It's like dealing with my dogs. You show fear, or any dog, at that matter, you show fear, they're gonna take advantage of it. If you show that you're not scared, they're not really gonna take advantage of it. So, like, I got my fair share in this city. I've walked around, I've done everything. Not that I've done everything, you know, I just finished telling you I've never been to Coney Island. I never even went to the towers, by the way. Whoa, come on, man, with this. I've never even been to the towers. I went for a school trip when I was younger, but I don't remember it, you know? And I regret that, but what am I gonna do? You know, and one of the things that everybody from New York asks each other was, where were you during the towers? Where were you during the towers? Like, when the Twin Towers were, when the planes went through the towers. And you know what? I remember I was home sleeping. I think it was like the day after college started, or the day before. I just didn't have classes though, or I had late classes. I don't remember exactly. And yeah, I'm not fighting you. I'm not in the mood for you right now. I'm sitting here bullshitting. So yeah, I had late classes, and either I had late classes or I didn't have classes at all. So at the time, my grandmother was alive, God rest her soul. She came into my room, and she doesn't speak a word of English, so she didn't know exactly what was going on. And she comes in, she's like, somebody bombed the World Trade Center. I'm like, and the way she said it, she was like, somebody bombed the twins. And that's how they say it in Greek. Κάποιος πορμπάρδισε τα δίδυμα. I know that's for my Greek fans, so they know that I speak Greek. So I was like, what's new, man? Leave me alone. I'm going back to bed, you know? Like, something like that. It's like, it happened, like, I think in 92 or 93, maybe even 94. I forgot what year it happened, but there was somebody bombed the towers then. And then, like, then all of a sudden my father comes home, and he was like, hey, he starts screaming at me in Greek. He was like, what are you doing? Hey, you know, I'm like, whoa, what? You know? He was like, 2 planes went into the towers and you're sleeping? I'm like, what? Didn't they get bombed? They're like, no. 2 planes went into the tower. I'm like, really? I turned the TV on, because I had a TV in my room with cable and everything. I turned the TV on, and I'm like, my jaw dropped. Like, I couldn't believe it, you know? And that was just I didn't technically experience it, but I went outside my house and I walked a couple of blocks away. I live right by the East River, and I was able to see the smoke. That was crazy, you know, like something going on. We've never had anything going on in New York City. And for you to see the smoke, it's like, whoa, you know? And, yeah, you know, that day, everybody was just being nice to everybody else. It was just like, hey, you know how you're dealing with every asshole in a rush and doing this and doing that? That day was just a completely different day, and I felt so bad for some people. Some people walked for miles over the bridges, covered in dust. Like, my godmother was there. My godmother actually worked a few blocks away from the World Trade Center, or like down the block. I don't remember exactly. She came home covered in dust the next day, not even the same day. Covered in dust. She didn't even take a shower. I felt so bad for her. And it was just insane. They closed bridges. They closed... I don't think they closed highways, but the highways were in a deadlock. And it was like, whoa. You know, like... I don't know. For me, it was a crazy experience. I never experienced... living in New York all my life, we never experienced something like that. It's like we live in a bubble, you know, especially here in the United States. Nothing like that really happens. And so, like, I don't know. That's just the New York life, though. You know, like something different happens every day, every month, every. I don't know how to explain it really. You know. You gotta see it to believe it. That's the thing, you know. Like you could walk down the block. There's gonna be, and you know, you got everything here, by the way. You know, you could walk down the block. There's gonna be the Chinese guy, the Japanese guy, the Muslim guy, the Indian, the Muslim guy, all right, the Egyptian guy, the Lebanese guy, the Iraqi, the guy from Yemen, the guy from Saudi Arabia, the Greek people, the Italians. You got a few French here and there, not too many. You got the Irish. There's a lot of Irish in this neighborhood. You got, dude, you name it, it's here. It's just crazy, you know. Especially the neighborhood, the neighborhood, the Queens. Queens is actually considered the new melting pot of New York. A melting pot is when you got all kinds of different races in like jammed up in one area. You know, it's just it's crazy, you know, and I was reading about it. Not too recently. It's been about 6 months ago, but you could literally find everything. I mean, across the street from my house, there's a Thai restaurant, a Spanish, authentic Spanish from Spain, Chinese, and there was a Cuban bakery, but I think the guy closed down, to be honest with you. But like, look, just across the street from my house. Oh, then you got the Chinese supermarket too, and like, whoa. And then when you go down the block, you got the Mexican food. You got a Mexican stand on the corner selling tacos and all these other things. The what do you call them, man? Burritos. I always get the burritos from over there. The burritos are good. I get a taco here and there, but the burritos are amazing. Like the Mexican restaurant. There's old school pizzerias, and now they got the yuppie pizzerias. There's a difference between a yuppie pizza. I don't know how to explain it, but they use different cheese. It's like margarita slices where you got regular slices at the old school pizzerias. You got the Greek restaurants, actually. There's like 5 of them. Then you got the Colombian restaurant. Then there's the Greek seafood restaurant. 2 of them, actually, that are within a block apart. And you got the sushi restaurant. Like, you name it, it's there. There's like 15 banks. People are broke over here, like everywhere. And there's like 15 banks within a 2-mile radius. Like, I don't understand what's going on. But I hear people broke everywhere. Guys, one time I was walking home. I was young, not that young. I probably was like around 18, 19, you know, but that's young for me now. I'm 32. I'm walking home one day and there's some bum on the street and she's just like, and she's getting yelled at by, I don't know, I guess it was her boyfriend or something. I don't even know what he was. And he's like, don't do it. Don't you do it. She's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it right now, right here. And I didn't know what they were talking about. So I looked away, and then I looked back again. She pulls her pants down and just starts peeing on the bench. It's like, oh, let me tell you something. I don't sit on any of those benches, all right? Ever. After I've seen that, I'll never sit on a bench anywhere. I don't care if it's on Fifth Ave by the richest neighborhood in New York City. I'm not sitting on a bench. You won't catch me sitting on a bench. I don't even want my dogs going near a bench, okay? After what I saw. So, like, whoa. You know? Some of the things you see and some of the things you deal with, it's like unbelievable. And like, I don't know, I really can't. Look at this guy, man. What a sick defense right now. If Bernard buffs and I bring Chloe, I'm screwed. So I have to hold my Bernardus faster, freeze them, and work on them slowly. Alright, whatever. Usually I'd bring another water monster to help me with this, but whatever. Let's hope we're faster, team. And I am faster. Wow. Usually when they got Vanessa, I'm not faster, guys. So, like, yeah, there's some things I won't do, you know. Then, oh man, some of the different characters and the different people I see. Like, this is one guy. You guys think I have an Italian accent. You guys got to meet this guy. This guy is like, You don't even understand the word he's saying. That's a crazy Italian. I can't even mimic his Italian accent. That's the funny thing. And I don't like the guy, to be honest with you. He sells fake goods and like weird stuff. He's a street hustler, you know, out of his car driving around. That's the funny thing. But he's basically like a street hustler though, and like I don't like dealing with him at all. My father buys stuff off of him all the time. He's like, you know how much money we save by doing. I'm like, yeah, but whatever. You're dealing with a lot of bullshit. So yeah, so that guy, I think his name was Charlie. I'm not even sure. And my dogs absolutely hate him. It's hilarious. My dogs, every time they see him, they want to bite his head off. So he seems like a nice guy. I just don't like dealing with him, you know? Like, I'm not in the mood for that, you know? And then I got another guy. He's funny. He's like a pure. He's from Staten Island. Let me tell you something. The Italians from Staten Island are hilarious. He's got this. He's an older guy. He's got a little bit of an American accent slash. He's got the Italian thing going on, and I know everybody tells me, they're like, oh, you sound like more of like a Greek accent mixed with a New York accent, and it's pretty crazy. It's pretty rare, you know, at least outside of New York. In New York, it's not rare, trust me. There's a lot of people that talk, they have heavier accents than me and everything. So whatever, but yeah, oh my god, some of the things, you know. So this guy's cool. His sister actually wants me to hook up. His sister wants me to hook up with his niece. When I never bothered, I was never really interested. Usually, when you're dealing with stuff like that, it's like this was like a couple of years ago. I haven't seen this guy in a long time. Usually, when you're dealing with stuff like that, though, the niece turns out to be like, I don't know. Let's not go there. The niece usually turns out to look like Uncle Fester or something, you know. So whatever, but. Yeah, and like, how do I explain these things? You know, I don't even know. It's so unexplainable. You got to see it to believe it. What goes on in New York City? You know, it's not. Even the things they show you on TV, they're not really 100% accurate. You know, some things yes, some things no, and it's like, what are you gonna do, and all of that, and you know. Like, I've seen a shooting. That's nothing to laugh about, but I've seen a shooting. I'm trying to come up with things to say. I thought I should have written it down before, but then again, it doesn't flow right sometimes either. I've seen a shooting. It was actually pretty crazy. It was a whole mob of people running. I almost got knocked over. They never caught the guy either. That's the funny thing. I don't think they caught the guy. I'm not sure, actually. I never bothered to find out because I actually witnessed it. I just didn't. I didn't bother to speak to anybody or anything because there was, like, I witnessed it, but I didn't witness it at the same time. There's like 50 other people there, so they didn't need me. And this is what, I was like 15 at the time, so should I? Yeah, why not? Why not? What else, man? I'm trying to think. I'm trying to get it to me. I'm drawing a blank here. What else have I seen in this city? What haven't I seen is more of the question. Yeah, so, yeah, that's about it, guys. I don't know, I can't think of anything else. I really can't. I'm just like, I'm literally drawing a blank tonight. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm trying to keep people happy, you know. There's no strategy involved with this for me, you know. And somebody asked me to make a video of fighting the people in the top 100. Yeah, I gotta hustle to go up to the top 100, you know. I'm not a top 100 player. People say I am. Yeah, I play in Guardian, and I could beat them. I sit there, I fight the guys in the top 100, but last couple of weeks have been a little lazy. It's just, you know, I don't know if you guys know, but there's a big market on people buying and selling accounts right now, and it's really getting on my nerves because, yeah, some accounts are disappearing. Like, you'll know the person, and the account will disappear completely off the face of like everything. Like they used to sit in the top 100 all the time, and now they're not even close to the top 100. And like then you got other guys. They're buying accounts with Zeratu, Ladriel, this, that, the other, and it's like, how are you supposed to compete with all these accounts? And I don't know what to say anymore, because I know that some of these people that I'm fighting, they didn't have these accounts before. They didn't have these monsters. They didn't have, or like, they were laying low. But I know for a fact, like, it's a big thing in Asia, especially in Singapore right now. Everything is being done in Singapore, and it's annoying. It really is, and I'm not saying I'm gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit, but come on, you know, like, it's really discouraging to play the game sometimes. I don't know what Comtois is gonna do about it. They put like I saw them put a message up in the forum saying, oh, you know, if don't buy these accounts because they will be punished and all this. Like, how do you know? How are you gonna find out? You know, and they really are getting sickening. They got all the top 5-star monsters. They got Perna, Zeratu, Eladriel, you name it, they got it. And it's like, come on, how are you supposed to compete with all that? You know, and they got nice runes too. It's not even just the monsters, they got nice runes too. You know, I used to run into the top 100 and people had normal monsters going on, you know. Yeah, you know, some people are mad. They put a lot of money. I've seen people put $100,000 in this game and they got shit. You know, the only person I saw that had really a lot of crap was Pensal. Pensal was just his, but he put the money in the beginning. You know, I noticed if you started playing in the beginning, you were getting nice monsters from the beginning. I didn't get that lucky. I didn't start getting nice monsters until I put some money into the game. But I had a better drop rate then than I do now. And this guy was just pulling like everything. He had every single Archangel. He had every single Chimera. He had like we're talking about. He had except for the light Chimera. He had the week that he reset. He pulled a dark Chimera. I couldn't believe he reset. He pulled Zeratu. He had the day after they came out. He had a 6-star Arnold, fully skilled. How do you do that? You know, wow, Rocky. What was that? How do you do that? A 6-star Arnold, fully skilled. You know? And I think he actually made a second 6-star one. I'm not even sure. I don't remember that off the top of my head. It was like, he had all the Dragon Knights. He got the Fire Dragon Knight the first day they came out also. He got, and probably maybe the Wind one too, I don't remember. He had all the Phoenixes. He had, what else did this guy have? It was just ridiculous. Whatever 5-star you could think of, he had it. You know, he had all the oracles. He had all the occult girls. Like, the light and dark monsters weren't that heavy at the time with him. He didn't have too many 5-star light and dark monsters, but he had every single wind, water, and fire 5-star that you could think of. He had Vanessa, Katarina, and Vanessa, Katarina, and how could I forget this name? Camilla, of all the things. How could I forget Camilla? He had Camilla also. He had, look at that, we get a victory. Let's see who this guy is that we got the victory against. Oh, they're still showing me the guy that... What is that? See, this game lags a lot. Like... He had all the 4-stars too. His fodder was ninjas, man. Like, if you looked at his fodder, he had like 15 ninjas, level 1 5-star, unawakened, just waiting to be fed to another 6-star. It was crazy, you know? Like, whoa, looking at this guy's stuff. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the rambling. I know I overdid it with the rambling today. I'm not even focused. But thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want, you know. This was a bad video for all the newcomers. Give it a like. And by the way, guys, I'm hoping to grow the channel a little bit. We're gonna do some more editing. I actually got a friend of mine. He's a pretty good rapper. I'm gonna start featuring some of his music. I'm gonna meet up with him later on this week. I haven't seen him in a long time though. That's the thing. So he doesn't know exactly what's going on with the channel, and I'm gonna feature some of his music though. He's interested, so We'll see. And yeah, thanks for watching. Throw me a like, share the video, subscribe, guys, if you want to. Have a good night, good day, good afternoon, whatever time of day it is for you guys. Later.